Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as the Rutgers Glee Club sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. As Dean of the School of Management and Labor Relations, and on behalf of President Robert Barchi, the University Administration, the alumni, the faculty, emeritus faculty, and the staff, I have the honor and pleasure to convene the 12th Convocation of the School of Management and Labor Relations for the graduating class of 2015. Congratulations. As of 5 p.m. last night, when grades were due, 680 students were awarded degrees from our school, and we'll have about 450 of them here with us this afternoon. Congratulations again. First, I would like to introduce our special guests and faculty members seated on the platform. As your name is called, I would ask each individual to stand. First, I want to introduce the outstanding members of our faculty and the senior leadership of our school. Our faculty is the best faculty of management and labor relations in the country and among the best in the world. They are the reason you chose to study here. I'll start with the senior leadership team. I'll ask you to hold your applause till I introduce everyone. William Castellano, Professor and Associate Dean for Executive Education. Susan Jackson, Distinguished Professor and Associate Dean for Strategic Initiatives. Barbara Lee, Professor and Chair of the Human Resource Management Department. I want to say a special word about Professor Lee. Starting on Monday, she will move to become the Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs at Rutgers, the second highest position at this university, and we are so proud that our school has been honored by this leadership. Lisa Schur, Professor and Chair of Labor Studies and Employment Relations. Paula Voos, Professor, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and Director of the Labor Studies and Employment Relations degree programs. Charles Fay, Director of the Human Resource Undergraduate Program. Professor Fay couldn't be with us today, but we honor him in absentia. David Ferriero, Professor Ferriero, Director of the Masters in Human Resource Management. And now our faculty. Vikrant Advani, David Bensman, Joseph Blasi, Terry Boyer, Will Bruscher, Dana Britton, John Costella, Tracy Chang, Rose Ciparillo, Dorothy Sue Cobble, Douglas Coffey, Ashley Conway, James Cooney, Satiq Deb, William Dwyer, Barry Eidlin, Hadi Alfar, Janice Fine, Ingrid Fulmer, Rebecca Given, Juhan Han, Hazel Ann Johnson, Rebecca Kehoe, Douglas Cruz, Sheila Lawrence, Tamara Lee, David Lepak, Darcel Lowry, Joseph McCune, Jessica Methote, Julie Masinski, Sylvia Muller, Sangi Park, Ralph Rodriguez, Francis Ryan, Randall Schuler, Tobias Schultz Clevin, Marilyn Snyderman, James Terez. Did I miss anyone? Is Carla here? Is Carla here? Just have to check. Don't want to leave anybody out. Please give them your warm applause. Without them, you would not be here today. I would also like to recognize some other special guests on the platform. Joe Walsh, who is the Assistant Director of Off-Campus Programs at the Division of Continuing Studies, and our partner. Many of you in the Bachelor of Science program came to us through Joe's efforts. Walter Lieb, member of the Board of Trustees, Professor Emeritus. Sidney Seligman, member of the Board of Trustees and of the similar State Advisory Council. I would also like to acknowledge our marshals and gonfalon bearers. Melissa Daniel, Bachelor's in Labor Studies in 2000, Masters of Labor and Employment Relations in 2001, Chairperson of the similar Alumni and Friends Association. You'll be hearing from her a bit in a minute. Janice Stilella, Master of Human Resource Management and Master of Labor Employment Relations. Betsaida Feliciano Barrios, Associate Dean, University College, MPA in 06 from Rutgers Camden Graduate School. Dennis Friend, BA 14 from HRM. Justin Vinton, BA 14, Political Science and Labor Studies. Thank you for your help today as well. Thanks to all of you for your contributions to our school. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank some distinguished guests who are seated in Section 103, people who have helped us advance our school through their generous donations. Let me introduce Donald and Kit Chu. Please stand. The Chus have created a new scholarship in honor of Donald's father, Professor Paul Chu, who taught in this school in the 70s and 80s, and we thank you very much for your support. Before we turn to honoring our students, and they are of course the reason we are all here today, I first want to extend our warm thanks to the friends and family members for the love and support you have given our students throughout their careers at our school. So to the parents, the spouses, the children, siblings, partners, and friends of our graduates, thank you for sharing these wonderful students with us. We know that you are very proud of them, and we are so happy to have you with us today to celebrate their achievements. Please thank your family members. We are very proud of our students in our school, and today is their day to shine. We have selected 4 of them, 2 from our undergraduate programs and 2 from our master's programs, to address this convocation this afternoon. Our first student speaker is Reina Martinez, who is receiving a master's degree in human resource management. She has served as president of the Rutgers University chapter of the Society for Human Resource Management. Last semester, she was the proud recipient of our school's Goals Minority Scholarship, as well as the SHRM Foundation's Graduate Academic Scholarship. Reina, please come forward and address your fellow graduates.
afternoon. To the graduating class of 2015, congratulations and welcome to the next step of your careers. I'm delighted to see so many familiar faces gathered here today, and I'm honored to address you. I want to speak briefly on a topic I think everyone in this room feels strongly about: millennials. Whether you are one, are a parent to one, or were a professor to one, or to a room full of them, you know firsthand that this generation is unlike any before it. A simple Google search of the word millennials returns about 12.2 million results. Last fall, the Council of Economic Advisors, an agency that advises the President of the United States of America on economic policy, published a report titled 15 Economic Facts About Millennials. Of these 15, I'd like to highlight the first one. Millennials are now the largest, most diverse generation in the US population. Look around you. You'll see quite a diverse group of people. Many of us are immigrants, the children of immigrants, or international students who came here in search of the American dream. Millennials are not only the most diverse generation, but we're equipped with the technology that shapes our lives and unlocks the world around us in a matter of seconds. We communicate across borders at lightning speeds thanks to social media, hashtags, and Snapchat stories. We've studied abroad, and we've worked or may one day work overseas. For a Rutgers graduate, Jersey roots, global reach has never been more fitting than it is today. Not too long ago, our families dreamed that one day we'd be walking across the stage. And although this is a milestone, I urge each and every one of you to remain humble and never stop learning. If you haven't already, you will soon be entering a workforce that doesn't quite understand you. There are countless books written about you, but your managers will still struggle to keep you engaged. Companies know that you have massive potential, if only you'd get off your phones. You'll likely be one of the youngest, and you'll be asked to work on projects that you won't know how to tackle. This will quickly remind you that you don't know as much as you thought you did here at Rutgers. When this happens, please be humble enough to learn from those more knowledgeable than you, and thank them for their insight. Also, be patient and teach them what you know, and they'll thank you as well. If all else fails, always keep in mind that you have a plethora of resources available to you, more than any other generation before you ever had. If they could figure it out without the internet, you have no excuse. The interesting thing about millennial or generalizations are that the use of broad statements to describe us is almost ironic. Yes, we can't function without our phones, but we use it to stay connected with people around the world. We don't want to be overworked, but we'll answer emails at any time of the day or night as long as it's convenient for us. Everyone thinks we're all the same, but again, we're the most diverse. That's the beauty of millennials. Class of 2015, embrace your diversity. You are the American dream, and the world is at your fingertips. Today, you really all do get a trophy. You get a degree from Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey. Congratulations, and continue making us proud.
Thank you so much, Raina. Our next speaker, William Campbell, is receiving a master's degree in labor and employment relations. Prior to this, he earned his bachelor's in labor studies and employment relations with highest honors and completed the program in 3 years. While he was an undergraduate and master's student, he served as a teaching assistant in our courses. In the fall, Will is going to attend Rutgers Law School, and he seeks a career protecting the rights of unions and employees. Will, please come forward and address your fellow graduates.
Thank you, Dean Sherman. I am humbled to be given the opportunity to address my colleagues, friends, and family on such an exciting day. I want to start by telling a personal story I think about often, and how my life would be different without a confluence of events that seemed radical only 4 years ago. I entered Rutgers with the aspiration of becoming a doctor or researcher, something in science. And after a somewhat successful year, my attention turned to a few labor studies classes that I enjoyed greatly, and organic chemistry, a notorious class for weeding out pre-med students. After that semester, I was yanked from the garden. Without science, I was no longer rooted in something I knew, and drifting in the wind is a perilous journey, filled with anxiety and insecurity that shook me to the core. Without having any obvious answers myself, I looked for guidance from one of my high school teachers, who also happened to be a Rutgers graduate, destined for science, who went on to become a phenomenal English teacher. That change of course allowed him to invest all of his passion, with no regrets, a feeling I was desperately trying to locate. I explained to him my situation when I was still unsure if I should tough it out with chemistry or switch to labor studies, a department that called to every part of my mind, morals, and curiosity. He responded with unwavering support for following the beat of my own drum and not that of my parents, friends, or anyone else's. In the email sent to me, he wrote, "Remember what Henry David Thoreau wrote. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. Do not be resigned to what you think is the best option for you or what will be the most lucrative career option. Preserve what makes you most happy. Pursue and follow your passions." These words gave me the confidence necessary for success once more. That weed was replanted in a place it felt treasured. The email still hangs on the bulletin board today, a constant reminder to me that a few kind words of encouragement can go a long way in supporting another's own path. My life, and I'm sure all of your lives, are checkered with inspirations like this. None of us would be in this room today were it not for the support of others. Sometimes it's nice to think that we made our own way individually, but without loving parents who drive us to succeed, or a brief meeting with our excellent faculty just to talk, or the whispers of a significant other, even the words, some of which I can't repeat here, of a coach who wants to see you excel at the highest level. Without them, we would not sit here today. Our personal hard work certainly makes the difference, but the support from those around us is the linchpin of our future. Now that we have finished one of the most important steps in our journeys, it is up to us to become the next generation of mentors and advocates. Our achievement has become part of the success of those who picked us up when we were down. We can only measure ourselves to the same standard. It is our responsibility, our duty, to lift up not just ourselves, but those around us. Our collective ability to make a difference in the lives of others is endless. This is a guiding principle at Rutgers, especially in the School of Management and Labor Relations, that I know we can uphold. Even in the bustle and stress of our future lives, our actions can ensure that even more walk across a stage just like this one. In this spirit, I would like to leave you with some advice from the most brilliant poet in New Jersey, Bruce Springsteen. No retreat, no surrender. Thank you.
I have to lower this a little bit. Our third speaker is Jade Palmieri, who is receiving a bachelor's degree with a double major, Human Resource Management and Labor Studies Employment Relations. Jane has maintained a 4.0 grade point average since the summer of 2013, and due to this achievement, she was inducted into the Rutgers chapter of Delta Epsilon Iota, the National Honor Society. She is also the founding president of the first student chapter of the Labor Employment Research Association, the professional association that many of us belong, making Rutgers the first university to have a chapter. We honor her and congratulate her. Jade, please come forward and address your fellow graduates.
Okay. So good afternoon, distinguished dean, faculty, staff, graduates, and guests. It's an honor to be standing here in front of you today. As me and my fellow graduates prepare to enter a new chapter of our lives, I want to acknowledge someone who's about to do the same. On behalf of the student body of the School of Management and Labor Relations, we wish Dean Sue Sherman all the best of luck as she steps down from her current position. We are very grateful for her outstanding leadership, commitment, and support to our school and students. I also want to briefly but sincerely thank my professors, friends, and family for their support and encouragement as well. So, while on the topic of support, I'll admit I was a bit nervous about giving this speech today. So as a natural remedy, I sought support from my academic advisor, who quickly took the opportunity to appease me by mentioning how I have to sing God Bless America in the beginning. But don't worry, it is as much relief for you as it is for me, knowing that was followed by a just kidding afterwards. So as a little girl, I thought college meant big people wearing suit-like outfits and carrying around sophisticated bags that resembled briefcases. But now that I am that big person in college, I realized two things. One, I was very, very wrong. And two, I think I was describing people on Wall Street. But regardless, everything is a learning process where you make mistakes and learn from them, whether it's as a freshman trying to successfully navigate the bus system to a senior who's worrying about graduating because you just cannot wake up for that 1 p.m. class. Either way, you will still sometimes manage to sleep past your alarm, and you will never get a satisfying answer as to why there's no D bus. But college is more than just a learning experience. It's about the growth of your first, second, and third degree connections. This includes the professors who assisted us through this brain cramming process and the laughs shared with them. Even if it is something as silly as the time where you started uncontrollably laughing in the middle of class because a professor who also caught the contagious laughter called seagulls sea pigeons. Anyhow, besides the incredible staff, do not forget the friendships made that created memories to last forever, even on those unmemorable nights for some. So I will not terrify you with the cliches that say how college is the best time of your life or you're just beginning the start of your life. Because one, I refuse to accept that my life is going downhill from here. And two, that indicates how the best times were actually non-existent because my life didn't start until now. So if you had to take away a message, it would be to know what college meant for you, whether it's mostly about academic achievement to the point where your friends honored you with the title of library mascot, or to the building of networks that you can rely on for today or the future. So from this point forward, I want you to consider every obstacle you encounter as an opportunity. Demonstrate your perseverance, as if you're trying to get onto a bus during rush hour at College Hall. Set higher goals that could match your posture during an interview. Reflect on your past experiences and mistakes, and use that to apply yourself effectively for future instances. Because just like beauty, success is in the eye of the beholder. So never forget your roots, keep your eye on the prize, and be what you set out to be. Congratulations, SMLR class of 2015. We made it.
Our fourth student speaker is Tracy Eng. Tracy triple majored while earning her bachelor's degree. She is receiving the degree with a major in human resource management as well as in psychology and sociology. I turn to my colleagues on the platform and I ask you, my recollection was it was difficult to get one major, let alone to get three. Tracy believes that Rutgers and her human resource management courses have prepared her for her new position at A.N. Hewitt, where she will work as a business delivery specialist. Congratulations, Tracy, on your achievements. Please come forward and address your fellow graduates.
Distinguished Dean, faculty, staff, graduates, and guests, Good afternoon. Thank you for attending today's graduation. I'm greatly honored to be selected to speak on behalf of the undergraduate Human Resource Management Department. First, congratulations to all the graduates here. Through hard work and perseverance, you are sitting here. I am so happy and proud of all of you on this achievement, but I want you to remember that you won't be here without your support system. Remember to thank your family, friends, staff, and faculty at Rutgers for their assistance. I know I wouldn't be here without this support system. They all provided such wonderful encouragement and support. I also truly appreciate the SMLR faculty for providing a wonderful foundation for my future. I learned so much information that can apply to my HR career. While I am nervous and excited for my new position at Aon Hewitt, I believe my rewarding education at Rutgers would guide me. And graduates, you also have developed a strong foundation for your careers. Use your new knowledge to advance yourself and overcome obstacles. Never stop learning. You need to keep growing, absorbing more information and skills. I not only look at learning as necessary for your future, but also as enriching yourself and keeping your life interesting. I hope to see all of you at the next alumni reunion successful and happy at whatever career you've chosen. The road to there might be difficult, but just look what you accomplished. Your path to graduation was difficult, but you made it. Keep learning, keep building a strong foundation, and always keep in touch with each other. Congratulations, class of 2015. I wish you all the success and happiness for the next journey.
These four outstanding students are just a sample of the wonderful group you see before you. You can see their quality, the diversity that we have in our school, and please give all four of them, on behalf of their colleagues, a round of applause. And now I would like to ask Melissa Daniel, Chair of the Alumni Association, to come forward and welcome you to the Similar Alumni Association.
Good afternoon, Dean Sherman, distinguished guests, faculty members, fellow alumni, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. Graduates, in just a few minutes, you will join the ranks not only of the School of Management Labor Relations Alumni Association, but also the Rutgers Alumni Association. And what a feeling that is. No more exams, group projects, or worrying about getting into a particular class, unless, of course, you decide to continue your formal education. I went back to school over 20 years ago. I went back to school after 20 years of working in Fortune 500 companies in various capacities. I worked in advertising, finance, and marketing. I have to tell you, going back as a non-traditional student, or as I was referred to as a mature student, was very stressful, but it was very worthwhile. I received both my bachelor's and my master's from the School of Management Labor Relations, which has, without a doubt, prepared me to pursue my second career as a labor arbitrator and mediator. Everyone I dealt with at Similar seemed to take an interest in me, not only as a student, but as an individual. Dean Barbara Lee, in particular, was very supportive of my endeavor to become an arbitrator. I had mentioned during an informal talk at a school function that I would like to pursue becoming an arbitrator. Dean Lee asked one of the alums of our program, who was an arbitrator, if she would mentor me. The answer was definitely yes, and although I graduated with my master's in 2001 and have established myself as an arbitrator since then, my mentor, Jacqueline Imhoff, has become not only a mentor but a friend as well. That is but one example of the wonderful things that are available through involvement with the Alumni Association. You have a network of people ready and willing to help you as you start off in this next chapter of your life. It also gives you the opportunity to give back once you're established in your careers. In closing, I hope to see some of you at our events and would love to have it come and help programming for our Alumni Association. So without further ado, it is my great honor to welcome you into the ranks of both the School of Management Labor Relations, the Alumni Association, as well as the Rutgers Alumni Association. Congratulations, graduates, you did it.
The James R. Chilius Award for Excellence in Teaching was created by the Chilius family in honor of the late Professor James Chilius, who taught in the Human Resource Management graduate program for 15 years. Professor Chilius was an outstanding teacher, colleague, friend of many of us on this platform, and we honor his work through this award. The Chilius Award is selected by polling students in the Human Resource Management graduate program. This year, we are proud to honor Professor Douglas Coffey as the recipient of the James R. Chilius Award.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Can I say it? Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dean Sherman. I'm honored by this award. First, I want to thank the Chilius family for making this award possible. And I want to thank our administration, faculty, and staff for their support from the day 3.5 years ago when Professor Dave Ferriero contacted me about teaching here at Rutgers. Now, I've been known once or twice to mention my career in class, but teaching at Rutgers by far is clearly the most fulfilling part of my career. And I thank you, our students, our graduates, on your special day. Seeing your dedication and passion energizes me. Knowing you and working with you gives me every confidence in your future success. I'll treasure this award always, and I thank you. Thanks again. Thank you.
And now, please join along as the Rutgers Glee Club, Men's Glee Club, sings the Rutgers alma mater. The words are in your program. Please join us, sing along.
From far and near we came to Rutgers and resolved to learn all that we can. And so we settled down in that noisy college town on the banks of the old Raritan. On the banks of the old Raritan, my friends, where old Rutgers evermore shall stand. For has she not stood since the time of the flood on the banks of the old Raritan? Then sing aloud to alma mater and keep the scarlet in the van. For with the motto high, Rutgers' name shall never die on the banks of the old Raritan. On the banks of the old Raritan, my friends, where old Rutgers evermore shall stand. For has she not stood since the time of the flood on the banks of the old Raritan?
And now we turn to the primary reason that you are all here this evening. Finally, you say, the awarding of degrees to the outstanding class of 2015. I want to remind you that your degrees will not be official until after they are conferred at the university-wide commencement tomorrow, and of course after you have paid your library tickets and traffic tickets. Tonight we will present you with a certificate from Semler and acknowledge each of your individual achievements. Your actual diplomas will be mailed to you at a later date. Before we proceed, a message to the audience. We've got a lot of folks, and I would ask that you please applaud and then let the next graduate come on so that we can hear the names, so that everyone gets to acknowledge their loved one who is graduating with us today. Student speakers, I would ask you, when your program is called, go and stand by the stage and join that procession. And now I ask the Chair of the Department of Labor Studies and Employment Relations, Lisa Schur, and others participating in this ceremony to please take their places.
Okay, will the candidates for the Master of Labor and Employment Relations degree please rise? Yeah. Dean Sherman, it is my pleasure to present to you the candidates for the degree of Master of Labor and Employment Relations.
And by the authority vested in the President of the University, by the Boards of Governors and Trustees, upon recommendation of the faculty, and by the authority vested in me as Dean of the School of Management and Labor Relations, I do now formally bestow on each of you the degree of Master of Labor and Employment Relations, with all the rights and privileges, obligations, responsibilities, and immunities appertaining thereto, both here and elsewhere. Please come forward and receive our congratulations.
Sandra Abu Suleiman. Dante Boyer. Diego Chica. William Campbell. What? Brian Dupuy. Andrew Escobar. Andrew Escobar. Michael Dwyer. Michael Dwyer. Sarah Gastonadui. Sarah Gastonadui. Jenna Hampton. There we go. Jessica Herrera. Paula Hong. Catherine Jimenez. Michelle Lawrence. Paola Minervini. Daniel Myron. Rupal Patel Perez. Nicola Farai. Ashley Pryor. Rebecca Rivera Brenet. Felicia Shelburne. Amanda Sheridan. Quadria Tankard. Francina Tapia. Edward Tillman. Malgorzata Urbaniak. Joshua Vogelman. Cheryl Wallace. Marcia Wire.
Got a slight problem with the sound that's supposed to go with the picture. We're working on it, but in the meantime, we have a plan. Don't worry. Now I ask the Department Chair, Barbara Lee, the Director of the Master of Human Resource Management Program, David Ferrio, and others participating in this ceremony to please take their places.
Will the candidates for the Master of Human Resource Management degree please rise? Dean Sherman, it is my pleasure to present to you the candidates for the degree of Master of Human Resource Management.
And by the virtue of the authority vested in the President, and by the boards of governors and trustees, and upon recommendation of the faculty, and by the authority vested in me as Dean of the school, I do now formally bestow on each of you the degree of Master of Human Resource Management with all the rights and privileges, obligations, responsibilities, and immunities appertaining thereto, both here and elsewhere. Please come forward and receive our congratulations.
Omar Al-Zamel. Zaret Al-Awim Al-Adejab. Khalid Al-Messi. Rachel Almach. Jane Elizabeth Bayless. Stephanie Beckholt. Sainine Kite. Song Cha. Min Chen. Yao So Chen. Siyun Chen. Tisu Chen. Annette Cherchersky. Jane Collins. Jennifer Lene Cummins. Meng Dai. Ching Dang. Carla de la Rama. Bing Yang Deng. Megan De Sing. Wen Yi Ding. Z Ding. Kimberly Din. Joseph Aracila Estrada. Yi Fong. Chosin Gao. Jennifer Galroyan. Joseph Michael Grain. Sapna Gupta. Ali Hussan Sukarit Hamdeen. Shen Hare. Shi Chin Hare. Francesca Haight. Sarish Javed. Su Ying. Daniel Johnson. Mariana Michelle Johnson. Anam Kawer. Christine Kiming, Shishari Chosami, Fei Lan, Che Yang Lee, Kite Loon Lee, Loon Lee, Yi-Ting Lee, Dongyi Li Yang, Yaylin Ling, Jonathan Liu, Kanye Liu, Chi Liu, Shou Liu, Ye Ying Liu, Yo Liu, Reina E. Martinez, Irayan Mastriani, Kayla Brian McComb, Lu Yang Mi, Christine Chi Malako, Anand Mustafa, Anthony Nisi, Lindsay Newhart, Shayla Ohida, Jessica Olcha, Yay, Jessica. Rathan Radhakristina, Rathan, good job there, buddy.
Ping Fei Ra, Sarah Marie Roden, Stephanie Scarnarni, Claudia Shaniska, Christina Scutari, Richie Shen, Nadini Sikar, Yannick M. Stuetzel, Shure Su, Hore Sun, Lee Sun, Li Shi Tan, Nicholas John Trupo, Stephanie Vavi, Anthony Von Florio, Jennifer Wallace, Donnie Wong, Lin Wong, O Wong, Rachel Blair Weiss, Han Yu, Shan Shan Wu, Jing Wang, Yase Yan, Su Yang Yi, C.E. Zhang, Nan Zhang, Shenner Zhang, Yang Yang Zong, Azare Ali, Yiqi Zhang, Zonghao Zhang, Wenju Zhang.
That was easy.
And now I would ask the chair of the Labor Studies Department, and others participating to please come forward again.
Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees in Labor Studies and Employment Relations please rise? Dean Sherman, it is my pleasure to present to you these candidates.
And by the authority vested in the President and the boards of governors and trustees, and upon recommendation of the faculty, and by the authority invested in me as Dean, I do now formally bestow on each of you the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Labor Studies and Employment Relations or Bachelor of Science in Labor Employment Relations, with all the rights and privileges, obligations, responsibilities, and immunities appertaining thereto. Both here and elsewhere, please come forward and receive our congratulations.
Janae Baker. Ben Buca. Andrea DiCarlo. Jack Clark. Krasimir Dimitrov. Aida Doolittle. Shandell Foster. Donna Golino. Ashley Grabowski. Shan Harewood.
Jade Palmari.
Roland Johnson. Javon Jones. Adam Kerman. Megan Kinsey. Brian Mendito. Oscar Miguel. Zachary Nasiolo. Lindsay Payne. Carrie Shaw. Bram Groen. Peter Sodi. Alicia Anderson. Nicholas Abbott. Rashawn Abdul Salam. Matthew Alarcon. Mohammed Altaf. Curtis Anderson. Margaret Andrews. Michelle Argilla. Etty Aaron. Kenneth Bagley. Brian Battaglia. Carolyn Bennett Rucker. Tyrone Bethia. Gregory Bimbiris. Virginia Blanco. Kelsey Bacchus. Tyler Bonder. Kyle Buddha. Carney Canella. Brunilda Carlo. Melissa Chant. Silvana Craig. Evgena Davidovich. Stephen Devine. Brittany Elton. Ali Farzadeh. Yasnibel Frias. Tina Marie Giroux. Justin Francis. Michael Hadrava. Israel Harney. Rebecca Harvey. Mustafa Hassan. Michelle Heaton. Alberto Hernandez. Juan Hernandez. Alyssa Ann Higgins. Kevin Holt. Kelsey Holton. Linda Hulbert. Hajir Farouk Hussein. Ikenna Ibeka. Ryan Ingram.
Diane M. Jones.
Edward Jordan. Jenna Jordan. Molly Casso. Thomas Levy. Keith Lumpkin. Keith Leiden. Stephanie Malky. Adam Manna. Jacqueline Marin. Melissa Martin. Lisa Meehan. Cynthia Magosi. Jonathan Moss. Adriana Murphy. Nicolette Natalie. Zachary Newland. Jenna Nichols. James Osterhelt. Jeffrey Palau. Karen Peralta. Miriam Pescador. Colin Phillip. Laura Pinto. Carol Pasapia. Brandon Pazaya. Sana Raman. Sheila Reeves. Brian Riley. Barbara Rentas. Eduardo Ribeiro Rangel. Marcus Roberts. Michael Romano. Kylie Rosella. Alexandra Salazar. Alyssa Sacelli.
Sean Siri.
Darius Shamsi. Robert Shaw Jr. Craig Smith. Anthony Spadaro. Janine Stango. Daryl Stephenson. Adina Southmary. Rachel Talias. Deborah Thornton. Elena Tolstakova. Rosemary Walsh. Tenzin Yeshi.
Julian Findley.
Now I ask Department Chair Barbara Lee and others participating in this ceremony to come forward once again.
Will the bachelor degree candidates of Human Resource Management please rise? Dean Sherman, it is my pleasure to present to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Human Resource Management.
And by now you should all know the words. You can speak along with me. By virtue of the authority vested in the President and the boards of governors and trustees, and upon recommendation of the faculty, and by the authority vested in me as Dean of the school, I do now formally bestow upon you each the degree of Bachelors of Arts in Human Resource Management, with all the rights and privileges, obligations, responsibilities, and immunities appertaining thereto, both here and elsewhere. Please come forward and receive our congratulations.
Jennifer Abril, Frank Travis Acevedo, Abina A. Adu Gayamfi, Nayab Naz Ahmud, Aisha F. Ahmud, Daniel T. Ahn, Nikayla A. Akins, Lee Ann Armbruster, Melanie Arroyo, Sigil Ushraf, Gabriela E. Asiedu, Hussam H. Atala, Evan Backish, Ashley M. Back, Jimena Banegas, Jingyi Bao, Moyad Bani El Marja, Christos Bardis, Jeffrey Kyle Bauer, Laura Mercedes Benitez, Dylan Scott Berger, William D. Barrios, Alexander Bond, Sherry L. Brown, Michael A. Brown, Sarah Carbone, Deandra Carter, Dana Lee Casera, Harangad Chadha, Chaka Chan, Christy Chan, Andrew J. Chiz, Timothy S. Chow, Alexis Corcoran, Toita Kosaj, Nadia Crescenzio, Michelle T. Cronin, Brian J. Cruz, Nicole Cruz, Sophia Kukus, Nicole S. Cummins, Monica Chekai, Jonathan D'Alessandro, Tiffany De Silva,
Jessica De La Cruz,
Kristen M. De La Sala,
Seema Devnani,
Richard Diaz, Kamisha R. Dubose, Gabriela Emerson, Giancarlo Enriquez, David M. Exantis, Abimbola Fogbai, Brian Fellows, Lauren G. Fenstermacher, Laura R. Fernandez, Tara L. Fitzgerald, Stephanie L. Fry, Reginald B. Gaines, Kumil Gaidja, Arpita Gentella, Deshira Galoshi, Justin R. Gonzalez, Jamila Goodman, Allison Gordon, Amber Griffin, Caitlin E. Giltinan, Maham Hassan, Eddie Hernandez, Arnisha D. Hobbs, Daniel N. Hodenot, Xuan Hu, Catherine Hushon, Namra Hussain, Uchenna Ibeka, Catherine L. Jablecki, Juan J. Jang, Latrice Giovanni Jones, Matthew C. Jones, Michael R. Jorge, Nadine June, Shannon Kelly, Saad Saeed Khan, Aisha Kansia, Esther Kim, Matthew Kleiner, Malik Cohn, Michael E. Kaczynski, Ami H. Ladd, Matthew J. Landy, Elena Lee, Janice M. Lee, Rebecca M. Lee, Vivian Lee, Molly M. Lewis, Jia Ying Lin, Karen Lopez, Xia Lu, Ryan A. Lucas, Christina Lustiero, Bradley E. Lynch, Tiffany H. Mack, Carolyn E. Masarowski, William T. Mackey, Kelly Manley, Natasha C. Marchett, Juliet A. Millington, Carly Mink, Vivian L. Mohan, Elizabeth Moore, Tina H. Moon, Jennifer Maria Moore, Richard E. Moore, Suna Mughal, Elena Mustafa, Amanda Najib, Suraj Nazare, Angela N. Newman, Matthew A. Newton, Suniti D. Panchal, Tracy M. Ng, Nikki Paré, Jonathan Para, Victor Porowski, Michelle E. Portillo, Alyssa J. Prairie, Joseph J. Pudignano, Dilruba Rahman, Navia Ramagiri, Unam Ralph, Angelica M. Raimondi, Elizabeth C. Reich, Claude E. Richardson, Megan E. Robinson, Sarah A. Roca, Pauline M. Rocha, Genesis A. Rodriguez, Gregorio Rodriguez, Samari Rodriguez, Alyssa B. Roldan, Lucia Maria Russo, Thomas J. Ruvo, Lauren San Giovanni, Christopher Santiago, Rihanna M. Sorna, Jonathan E. Schaller, Chelsea Ray Schmidt, Jordan Ashley Shane, Elizabeth M. Schottel, Amelia M. Seapaul, Maydette Serrano, Vidi M. Shaw, Christopher Shalyan, Rafa H. Shamsuddin, Carissa Sharon, Matthew Brian Sikari, Preston Smith, Dominic Sun, Brian Song, Stephanie F. Souza, Christopher Mark Spatola, Nicole M. Spicuzza, Kelly J. Strack,
Samantha Studley,
Young Soo, Runali Sukadia, Alex R. Sura, Jasmine Nicole Sweat, Christopher Tabora, Jennifer R. Tang, Tiffany Tang, Jocelyn Torn, Saida Anisha Udin, Kathy Umanzu, Ryan M. Urbanik, Rohan Vardy, Alejandra Villegas, Annie Fung Hang Wan, Xiaoyu Wang, Caitlin Wentworth, Jamila A. White, Jamie L. Wilson, Brandon X. Womble, Yuri Wong, James T. Woodward, Catherine A. Wright, Monica Zalewski, Sumra Zuman, Yilian Zhang, Jing-E Zhou, Rebecca Zhou, Samuel Zhou, Christina G. Irizarry,
I will simply say the faster you go back to your seat, the faster we can all leave. Do I hear applause? Marshals, could you encourage our HR bachelors to speed it up to their seats? They can shake hands later. Huh? The Glee Club left. I would have to say. All right, quiet. Quiet in there. Restlessness. We'll be done soon. Who are you up there? Whatever is happening up there, I want some. And now, will all the graduates please rise? As Dean of the School of Management and Labor Relations on this 16th day of May, 2015, I herewith declare and pronounce and acclaim each and every one of you as graduates of the School of Management and Labor Relations at Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey. Please now and together enthusiastically turn your tassels to the left. Before we conclude, I want to take a moment to thank the staff of the school, those folks in red shirts who are the reason you got where you were supposed to go this evening. They've worked tirelessly for days to prepare. I particularly want to thank Linda Post, who has coordinated this event. Please give our staff a round of applause. Thank you all so much. I'll remind you that there are refreshments for you, the graduates, and your guests outside the field house under the tent. That concludes the ceremony. We hope you'll join us. And now, will the marshals please take your place next to the graduates? Folks in the audience, we're going to try to get out of here. I ask you to exit the arena and meet your graduates outside the hall. That way we'll all be able to get out faster. Will the faculty and guests please rise? I hereby formally adjourn this convocation. Will the musicians start the recessional?